Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be like the last video of 2023, so I just thought let's make a video on the lessons that I've learned this year in 2023. I mean, we all have learned lessons in this year, but I wanted to share my lessons so that it would help you in some way if you can relate and understand, and also not make the same mistakes in 2024. So here's my take on 2023 lessons that I learned. So here we go. So the first lesson that I learned this year was embrace change. What do I mean by that? So at the beginning of the year 2023, I had a lot of poor habits, bad discipline, a poor diet, and that led to major health reasons in my life, for which I had to replace that, and I had to turn on my bad habits into good habits. And during that time, I had read this book by James Clear, Atomic Habits, which kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things. That is, in order for you to be a better person and change certain habits, you got to do that on a day-to-day basis. What I mean by that is, you got to be 1% better every day in order to be 100% fully efficient by the end of the year, which I followed, and it has helped me a lot. So I would say, if you want to bring a certain change in your life, it starts on a day-to-day practice by elevating yourself, trying to grow every day, every hour, so that the end result is going to be great. Because I mean, Rome wasn't built in one day, so aren't you going to get built to the best version of you in one day? So it's going to take some time and practice for you to be the best. But more importantly, embrace that change in your life, because if you don't change, you won't grow. The second lesson that I learned is start early. Early to bed and early to rise. That's what I used to hear when I was a kid. But back then I didn't care about it that much. But right now I would say that's a pretty valid point, because if you want to get more things done throughout your day, you got to start your day early so that you have many things to get done. You feel more productive about yourself because you're getting work done. Otherwise, if you just wake up late, you have a less time duration to get your work done. So at the end of the day, you just feel like, oh, I wish if I'd done more. But I mean, you need time at the end. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Waking up early is the best thing that I would recommend. So the third lesson that I learned was read books. Trust me, if you're not a reader, I wasn't one too at the start of the year. But reading books has changed my life completely. I mean completely. What I mean by that is, so when you read books, it changes your mindset on how you see life and the perspective on how things run in this world. It changes your view completely. And also they say you are a product of the 5 people you hang out with, but sometimes if you don't have those kind of people, the books are your people. So hanging around those books, which is technically hanging around with the successful minded people, makes you also into one. So before you be rich in your life, you gotta be rich in your mind. And that happens by attaining knowledge, by reading books, which helps you grow and get a better understanding on life. So reading books has been one game changer for me in my life. The fourth lesson that I learned is prioritize your mental health. I mean, it's actually important. Like, a lot of people don't talk about it because we don't think of it that much. It's very important, because I mean, you don't have this, you don't have anything in your life, trust me. And the best way to get help is by talking to a friend. And if you don't have friends, I would say talk to a therapist, or just talk to someone so that you can just vent out your problems. See, I've done it all. My perspective, I would say that maybe sometimes therapy doesn't really give you the answer to your problems, but it's more like a roadmap to get your problems answered. In a way, try it all. You'll get some help from it, but don't neglect it, I would say. Because it's very important to keep your mind as a first priority before anything else in your life. So keep that in mind. So the fifth lesson is practice gratitude. Get a book Write down 5 things that you're grateful about on a day-to-day basis and do that. Don't miss a day. Practice it daily. I mean, even if you don't have 5, write down at least 1 or more than 1. Because the whole point is that practicing gratitude just makes you feel of how grateful you have to be of the life you live every day, because tomorrow is not promised. So the 6th lesson is financial literacy. And this is very important because if you don't have the knowledge on money, it's tough to make money, to be honest. Having money management is very important. Like the 3 pillars of financial literacy that I would say is, firstly, get knowledge on money. That's by reading a book, which I would recommend you, is Psychology of Money. The second pillar would be debt management. You should always clear your high interest debt. It doesn't burden you in the end that much because it clears a huge stress off your chest. The third pillar is always set an emergency fund that's at least have 3 to 6 months of income in your account. Because I mean, if you don't have that, it will be a big issue. Like for example, let's take COVID. I mean, who knew COVID would come? But it did. And were you prepared for it? No. Everyone went in a lot of money problems because no one was prepared for something like that. That's why it's just good to have a safety net. Always have an emergency fund. Also learn how to budget your money, which is very important to know how much expenses you have versus the income you have earned. You can either do it on a Google Excel or you can just download an app that helps you track your records. So at least you have an idea, okay, I've spent this much, but I won this much. It's just good to have an idea on how you're spending. So the 7th lesson is relationships. Yes, you heard it right, relationships. We all have been there, I have been there, you have been there, we all have been there. We all have had those butterfly in the stomach kind of love, heartbreaks, I never want to see you again kind of. We all have been there. But the thing is, what is love? My way, how I define love is the idea of opening yourself to one another and being vulnerable, establishing certain boundaries, a deep understanding emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That's my idea of love. But everyone has a different idea on what love is and how it should be given out to one another. Some people might have a toxic way of loving. Some people might have a pending way of loving. Everyone has a different style of love. And in order to just understand the basic rules and ways on how to have a healthy relationship, more than practicing it to trial and error, it's more like learning how to love before falling in one. That's what I have done by reading a book called 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty, which talks about a lot of aspects on love and gives you a better understanding on establishing the boundaries, understanding a lot of stuff, which I think so even you must have not known about it. So definitely you should read this book because it is quite helpful. It has helped me out in ways it might help you too. Learn about love before falling in love. So the 8th lesson is love yourself. In order to love yourself, you need to be self-aware of the actions that you do on a day-to-day basis to yourself. That is by going to the gym, working out, then eating good, basically taking care of your body, meditating so that you just get a good inner peace in your mind, going out for a walk. Basically whatever makes you feel good is a way on how you can take care of yourself, which is loving yourself. Sometimes we do be hard on ourselves. In order to also love yourself, think of it this way, like how would you treat your friend when you need to comfort them? So imagine your friend has a bad day and you're trying to comfort them and make them feel good. So just use that principle towards yourself at times, so that's the best way to love yourself. And also I've noticed a lot of times self-validation is very important in order to love yourself, because in my case, some of the times I used to always need validation from others to see how good I am, or see how good my work is, or see if this YouTube video is good of mine, send it to people and ask for their validation. Is this good? Because everyone's going to have a different opinion on my video. It's better if I see how I like it, and if I like it, I will post it. It's about how good I feel about my work in order to love what I do and love myself on how I do it. That's the biggest take I have on this. You're in that kind of situation where you feel like you always need validation from others. Trust me, if you like it, you do it. The 9th lesson is change your listening style. What you hear is what you are. So if you're a person that listens to a lot of music, it's totally fine. But more than music, you should listen to either podcasts or audiobooks, something that can add a lot of value into your life and change your mind, change your perspective, change your ideology on certain things. You won't grow if you won't listen to things that add value to your life. The 10th lesson that I learned is nobody's going to save you. Not me, not your mom, not your dad, not your brother, not your sister, nobody. They are going to be there to support you and lift you up, but in order for you to get out of the situation that you're in your life, it's only you and only you, nobody else. Because everyone has their own race to run in this life that we are living, and you're running your own race. If you really want to get out of this particular situation that you're stuck in your life, you got to wake up, you got to dust yourself, and you got to keep running and not stop. And this is one of the most toughest lessons that I learned this year, but you got to run your own race. No one's going to help you run your own race. It's your legs, your mind, your everything. Make it worth it while you can and keep going. Don't stop. 2024 is almost here, and I hope you're going to crush 2024 and make this your year. These are the 10 lessons that I have learned this year in 2023, and I hope it helps you grow in the 2024. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and Happy New Year to each and every one of you all, and see you all in 2024 with a new video. Thank you, goodbye, and see you in 2024.